Hi there, David Beard with Endless Summer Quarterly. I hope this finds you doing well. Today I'm going to be doing my kind of memory lane slash nostalgia slash unboxing of the Brian Wilson Live at the Roxy set that's coming out Friday, November 7th. So first off, I was one of the the lucky ones to have been there that night to see, and by that time, going back even a little further, I had seen Brian, perform Pet Sounds in its entirety at the Chastain Theatre in Atlanta, Georgia. I think it was the year before, and got to interview him after that show, and he was just so great. That's a very memorable night for me. And going out to California the following year for these two Roxy shows, I think in their own way were equally memorable. Brian is really starting to come into his own as a performer. He started in '98, starting coming back and performing. And you could slowly see the joy percolating in him as between '98 and 2000 at these Roxy events. And I think you get to hear a lot of that in the Roxy show. Now, I'm going to go, as I was mentioning, back in time a little bit. So initially, when the show was released, it came out in the packaging like this. And I have variations. I can't even tell you without looking at the back of them how many different variations there are. But then there was also the 5.1 surround sound. So I've got all that stuff as you imagine I would. And at the time, the ESQ's graphic designer Greg Russell worked with Mark London to produce this summer June 2000 issue of ESQ to kind of tie into the whole Live at the Roxy vibe. But as I just showed you, it came out looking like this, which is fine. I mean, I've always kind of liked this packaging. It's kind of got its own vibe to it, with Brian kind of looking down on the audience. I've always liked it, but you can imagine that this aesthetic, which speaks so directly to Mark London's vibe and energy and the whole Sunset Strip thing, I have always loved this. So that said, so for this new Live at the Roxy set to come out, just the vibe, it takes me back to this cover of ESQ, and I've always loved that, and I love this, and these photos either taken by Paul Natkin or Robert Matthew, but really are another great element to this packaging. So it comes in this nice 12 by 12 box, or 13 by 13, whatever the measurements might be. And then I'll show you. So it opens up this. And then what I like, they really did their due diligence here with making this LP set special, because it's colored vinyl. But the first one is the Mark London design. And then the second LP is this great outside shot of that memorable night, those memorable nights. And then the third LP, which I think is a nice and loving way to honor the original release, looks just like that, just like the original CD that came out back in 2000. So I think that's the cover art to kind of revisit the original is really nice and tastefully done. I think letting Mark kind of bring his vision to life now in 2025, a quarter of a century later, is just so apropos and right on the money, because I love it. So that's just the artwork. So this set also comes with a poster, and I've got extra posters here. I'm going to show you a couple of promotional posters that were just in stores, retail stores, that Carl from Oglio sent me, and we're going to be doing a giveaway with these as well. So there's one poster right there, 5th anniversary. And then here's the second poster. Very nice, very nice. And like I said, we have multiples of those. We're going to be giving them away. We have quite a bit of these stickers. We'll be giving these away with the posters. And And then we have little enamel pins that say Brian Wilson, live at the Roxy. Let me see if I can see. So we have all this stuff we're going to be giving away when I find free time. And then the poster that came with, that comes with the LP set is this one right here. Yeah, that's so cool. So that comes with the LP set, and Carl also sent me a couple of these. This goes all the way back to the year 2000. This is a sticker. It's creased right there in the middle. It lists everything that's on it. It says Live at the Roxy. This is from 2000. So he sent me a couple of these. These will be giveaway items. But you will need to be a subscriber to Endless Summer Quarterly, and we're scheduling that, and you can, I hope that we can be able to share the information of when we're going to be doing our live Zoom with Carl from Oglio, and hopefully be able to have him a part of the giveaway to give some things to our subscribers of the magazine. So that's the LP. Now, I'm not going to dig too much deeper than that. Again, I recommend you go over and watch Gagan's channel. But I will tell you, it was really nice for me from a memory standpoint to have like Johnny B. Goode on here, because Johnny B. Goode, to see Brian get on stage, just, the show would come to an end, and for the encore, Brian would grab his, have his bass guitar strapped on, and he would be playing that and singing Johnny B. Goode. Was just that. Those moments were worth the price of admission if you got to see Brian back in those days, and you know that. It was just so great to see him performing Johnny B. Goode, which I've always loved. So, Southern California, which would eventually come out on that Lucky Old Sun, that's on here. Soul Searchin', which was recorded back in '95, so that's on here. This is really kind of, I think, what makes this, other than the incredible packaging that you would want to get it for that reason alone, and the colored vinyl for the collectors, I think it goes beyond that. And this is true with the CD, which is even more tracks than the LP set. This is a wonderful stabilizing time capsule. This is, you get to hear and experience Brian, and in a point in his career where he was, in my opinion, he had turned a corner as a live performer, and you hear this on this set. I mean, it's just really, I mean, this. I'm really thankful to Carl and the Oglio team, and Mark London and David Leaf for writing the. He extended his liner notes a little bit, from what I understand, but not by much. And to have the original note from Brian about these shows in the packaging is also so cool. This is like so it is really truly like a time capsule and a curated moment in time where we get to hear Brian really having a good time, expressing himself with his muse, which is music. Yeah, Brian Wilson, he's so I'm making this weird face and struggling a little bit because he's not here now. And so that's another thing that I'm glad I'm thinking about. I think this set is really important also because I think it, you think about Carney and Wendy, and then Daria Delaney, Dash, Dakota, Dylan, and those, his adopted children. And this is such a great keepsake for them to have. It's like the first thing that's come out posthumously since Brian's passed. And I really couldn't think of anything better. It's just beautifully done. It means a lot to me because it was there. But I think this is the type of thing that I would tell anyone. If you're a collector, if you like cool packaging, if you want to hear Brian, and yeah, there's the streaming, but I hope you're old school like me, regardless of your age, and that you would want this physical product because it's just so cool. So the CD, here you go. I love this. First of all, I love the soft packaging because it matches the artwork. Like if this artwork were in a jewel case or something like that, I don't know that I would like it as much. Um, so yeah, so this is it open, and you know, it's again, so it's so tastefully done. I love this photo of Brian in the middle. It's really cool. And again, they have the original artwork over here and the exterior shot of the Roxy right here. And it's just beyond my personal experience and memories. I just think this is so lovingly done. And it's something that if you're a Brian Wilson fan, if you like anything the guy's ever done from surfing all the way up until It's Okay from the Long Promised Road documentary. You know, whatever it is, anything and everything in between, from the beginning to the end. This is a real wonderful collectible, and we're going to be giving away. Like I said, we're going to be giving. Thanks to Carl. Here's my note from Carl. He's the nicest guy in the world. But go to our website. If you go to the website, esquarterly.com, esquarterly.com, you'll see when you come to the homepage on the right side. I don't know how it would look on your phone, but if you're on your desktop, the widgets, what they're called, is over to the right-hand side, and they're little squares, and every product available for the Brian Wilson Live at the Roxy, those links are over there by the different images. You click on the image, it'll take you right to the product, because there's the CD set, there's the LP set, and there's bundles where they have tote bags and things like that. And we're gonna ESQ's gearing up for a big Brian Wilson giveaway, and we're not just giving away in these Brian Wilson prize packages. We're not just giving away Roxy stuff. We're giving away Brian Wilson Live at the Roxy stuff, in addition to things like this. I have a Brian Wilson, No Peer Pressure, signed by Brian and Al. It's just the cover, but I have that signed by Brian and Al. We're going to be giving that away. I have a few, and I wish this were Blu-ray. I really do. It's not, but I think it's still a pretty cool collectible. This is the DVD of Long Promised Road, and it's signed by Brian. So that'll be, we have several of these, and we're going to be giving those away. And we have an extra one of these. This, again, another great Mark London design. But this is a 2022 tour, and you know, Brian at the Sandbox. These are, I think these are, I don't know how collectible these are, how many that were made, but we are giving one away. And oh, and here, another thing that Carl sent me. Carl sent me 5 of these. If you recognize this, I hope you do. So Oglio released this limited pressing CD single back in about 05, I think it was, and this is Walking Down the Path of Life with Love and Mercy. And it's, I don't know if you know Walking Down the Path of Life. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. But these are this is still sealed collectible CD singles that Carl was kind enough to send to my care for the sake of a giveaway. And what else? Okay. Yeah, we got posters, we got the stickers, we got the enamel pins, plus I have 2 of these posters to share with somebody. In other words, to give away. But it's strange for me a little bit to it's nice to want to give things to people who will appreciate it, and I know we'll find the right owner of these things that we'll be giving away. You know, when Brian signed this, I think he signed very, very few of these. But this, I don't know. I'm going to be careful about how I say this. I think this is one of the last things he signed. It's not why I have it. I've had this for well over a year, since the Ding Dang Project came out. And Michael DeMartin was kind enough to have Brian sign a few for us. Um, and I've got one of them. He sent one with the understanding that I'd be holding on to one. But this is before Brian passed away, and you know, uh, I'm really hoping that this finds a wonderful home. You know, because it's Brian's signature, right? And I miss the guy. I miss him. So I hope this has been a good unpacking, more or less, than an unboxing. I mean, I did take it out of the box, I guess. But the point being, um, this whole project is again, it has a little bit deeper meaning for me, and I'm sure also for the likes of Mark London and David Leaf and anyone else who had the honor and privilege of being at those Roxy shows in April of 2000. And Lee Dempsey was there. Gosh, and I got to meet so many. Bette Midler was there. It was just such a it- you know memorable night, and then to have it come out after Brian's passing, I think for me personally makes it even that much more meaningful. I hope you seek out this release. So Brian Wilson live at the Roxy, great artwork, great packaging, and of course this beautiful uh, 3-album set. It's done well. It's done with love, and makes me a little sad to see Brian waving right there. But I guess I'll picture it more of him saying hello than goodbye. Get this, Brian Wilson live at the Roxy. You won't regret it. If you got a turntable, buy this set. And if you don't, buy this. Now, I know if you're like me, I still have a car with a CD player. But I'm hoping you'll buy this. Even if you don't have a CD player, even if you don't have an turntable, buy this stuff. This is like artifacts of time. These are artifacts of time, and they're. Oh, I'm grateful to Oglio. I'm grateful to everyone involved in the project. Mark London, David Leaf, Brian, of course, his incredible band, the late Nick Walusko. There's Jim Hines, Bob Lizick, Paul Bon Mertens, Darian Sahanaja, Mike D'Amico, Taylor Mills, Scott Bennett, Probin Gregory. I think I've listed it. Jeffrey Foskett. What a great band. What a memorable night. So, one more time. Pick it up. Pick it all up. And relive history again and again and again. All right, check them out. Thanks for watching, and look for a live Zoom advertisement coming soon where we'll be giving all that cool stuff away. All right, take care.